Feeling friends is this concept that I came up with laying in bed one night. I have all these close friends who have these wonderful stories that can help change the world, life experiences that can help other people believe in themselves, hold tight to their dreams and make their dreams reality. On Feeling Friends, we talk about God, we talk about love, relationships. I have celebrity friends, I have non-celebrity friends. I have church members, family members. But when you watch and listen to Feeling Friends, you will learn and you will laugh. It's a community of friends helping to build each other up. So tune in to Feeling Friends every Sunday on WHCR 90.3 FM, or you can catch me on YouTube at Feeling Friends Radio. All right, I'll see you there. WHCR 90.3 FM, the voice of Harlem. What's up, everybody? It's me, Phil, and I'm so happy to be back live here in my home studio because I record from the house. So thank you guys for tuning in. You can watch me or view me online every Sunday right here on WHCR 90.3 FM, the voice of Harlem. Listen, I've got two great people. I've got Eric and Terry Cole here live today to talk about marriage, what you need to do to keep your marriage going. They're going to give us tools and tips on how they are staying together, have stayed together, and have raised, in my opinion, a successful family. So without further ado, I'm going to bring Eric and Terry Cole into the building. What's up, y'all?
What's up? What's going on?
Hey, how y'all doing?
Good.
Doing pretty good.
Good.
Pretty good.
Listen, thank you all so much for coming on air. Like I told you before, there are so many people who just need advice on relationships. And I'm not, y'all aren't experts, but you are an expert because you've been together for so long, right? So let's go ahead and tell the people who you are.
Got it. Well, I'll let you go first.
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go first,
I am Terry Cole and mom of 3 young adults, shall I say, and married to this handsome young man right here for the last 26 years.
A long time.
And we reside here in Texas.
Yep.
Sugar Land, Texas.
Yep.
Okay. Now, Terry, where are you from exactly?
Okay. Okay. Here's our joke. Okay. I am from LA, Culver City. I am from Culver City, but he got a joke going on. He's a hater. Let me just tell you.
Listen, I used to live right in Culver City in Ladera by that in La Brea, right there, right out of La Brea.
Yep. I used to live right down there.
Fridays, the Magic Johnson Fridays.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. See.
Yeah.
I grew up in Fox Hills.
Okay, yep, Fox Hills Mall.
Fox Hills, as well as another community off of what was it? Overland.
Don't even know.
Yeah,
Don't even
Overland
know.
and Sepulveda. It's Orange Hills.
Okay.
That was my favorite neighborhood.
Don't hate on it.
She's
See, that's because I'm a West Side girl, and
Yeah.
tell them where you from.
She's really from the
Tell them where you
Corona, Ontario area, but she likes to state that she's from LA, but she's really from the Inland Empire. So
Stop it. I went to elementary, junior high, and high school.
Okay.
In LA, so
right.
you need to stop, and college. So don't hate.
Okay.
Tell them where you're from. Tell them.
So I'm Eric Cole,
Mhm.
born and raised in Compton, California. I've got 4 siblings, 2 older sisters, an older brother, and a younger brother, born to Leon and Ellen Cole. My father recently deceased about 2 years ago, and that's been a tough stretch for me. But the beautiful thing about it is that Terry really got me through it. She really stayed positive. I've actually been through some family experiences that really weren't the best. When parents get sick or become ill or pass, you really need someone there to sort of be your rock. And so when that information really hits you, you tend to think of the worst, but you need someone there to really hold you, keep you tight, keep you strong, and stay positive.
Well, you jumping right into the show,
Yeah.
Kappa, man. You're also a member of Kappa Alpha Psi.
There you go. Yep.
That's a really great organization. Anything negative today about
Here we go.
Well, thank you too for being here. And Eric, we're actually going to jump into that because that's you brought up a very good point about it. And I don't want to jump ahead, but I want to first I want to talk about how you two met. How, how did you?
Tell the story.
Well, I'll tell you. I'll tell you. So this was probably back in what, 92. I wasn't dating anyone. Went to an event in Torrance, California. It was a party held at a hotel. The ballroom, there was dancing. So kind of went there with some buddies, and we walked into the ballroom where people were dancing, and I saw Terry across the room, and I'm like, "Who's that?" And she's like, "Well, that's our friend's coworker. She came, she rode with us." And I'm like, I want to meet her. So I walked over there. And when I approached her, the person, she looked back and she saw me coming.
Okay.
And from that point forward, it was just kind of like no words. I'm like, hey, just saw you standing over here. Wanted to, keep, needed any company.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, hey, I'm fine. I'm good. And from that point forward, I really just I tried something else, didn't work. So I walked away. But here's the funny part though. So probably about 30 minutes later, we're in the lobby and I see her and she's sitting down talking to some guy, and I'm across the wall with my boys. And I'm like,
we were talking about them.
Yeah, I'm like, you think all that, she's with this buster hanging out. She wouldn't give me the time of day.
I didn't even know the guy.
And this dude is kind of talking about us, like, look at these dudes in these suits and whatnot. So to make a long story short, every time that she was actually at some type of social event, my buddy would call me and say, hey, she's here. So I would just stop whatever I was doing, go fly across town to try to connect with her.
He stalked me.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Pretty much.
Paid off. We're not condoning stalking, but
yeah. So about once a month, I would stalk. I would show up. I would try to shoot my shot. Nothing would work, and then finally, to make a long story short, we eventually went out on a date. And from that point forward, we were inseparable. I mean, we spent a lot of time together. Really? I think the beauty of it was that we were just open and honest from the very start. There were actually no surprises.
Right.
I
was in a relationship at the time, which is why I wasn't giving him the time of day.
He totally left that part out. You were
exactly.
That didn't matter
that makes total sense now, Eric.
Right, which is why I was shooting him down. I just was not interested because I was in a relationship.
Yeah,
and so
that's not my problem.
Exactly. What
you
got to do with you? Huh?
Yeah, that's right.
Let me ask you this, because you all have 3 young children who are doing exceptionally well.
Yep.
What would you say to a young person or a young woman who says, I would rather just date? Would you suggest to date as many people as possible just to see what you like, not actually doing extra things, but just going through the people to see who you are? Or would you prefer them to do what you did, Terry, saying, no, I'm dating somebody, you can go on about your business? What would you guys say?
Yeah, for me, I'll speak to that first. My preference would be, if they're dating someone, they're dating someone. Mm-hmm. And even if you see it as something that could potentially be serious, then stay the course. But outside of that, if it's just sort of like dating for the sake of dating, and you can communicate, and that goes both ways. If you have the ability to see somebody else, then he should too. So to me, it's kind of like open honesty, transparency is the best course, because once you lose that trust, it's gone.
It's hard
gone.
to get it back.
Yeah. So,
I'm gonna agree with him on that, because I'm kind of old school when it comes to that kind of thing. If you're in a relationship, and if it's a serious relationship, then it should be with that one person, as long as the two have an agreement, right?
Yep.
And so if it's not serious and you guys are just hanging out, then that's fine. You can date and test the waters. You never know. I don't believe in locking in, though, just for the sake of being in a relationship.
But that happens a lot too, Terry. Being in the same. Let's talk about that as well. Not to cut you off, but people always say, Phil, why aren't you in a relationship? Because I don't want to just to be with somebody, just to be with somebody. Right. What would you say to people who do that, and how they can, just keep it moving, what you like?
Yeah, I would say just get a hobby. I mean, get a hobby. If you're dating someone just for the sake of dating someone, then the chances of that working are probably slim to none. I would say sort of get into yourself, do things that you like to do, experience new things, and that opportunity to actually meet other like-minded people.
But I think some people don't like being alone.
It's true.
And so there you have those who are in the relationship just for the sake of the relationship, but I think it's more damaging to themselves than if they were to, date I don't know what it is, what it's like now, because we've been together for so long.
Yeah.
But I'm hearing the dating pool really, it's kind of a challenge out there. And so
it's trash.
it's not trash. You just have to find,
No, it's
Right.
trash. I'm a little older. It's trash. It's bad in these streets. Just let you know.
but I don't know. I do know some people who are, they don't like to be alone. And so therefore they, they date people. Maybe it's not going to materialize, but
Keeps them
it's
busy.
about companionship.
Yeah, keeps them busy. Yep.
So I don't know. I mean, to each his own.
Mhm.
But Eric's like, get a hobby,
Yeah, get a
keep
hobby.
yourself busy. But
You
you never know.
I mean, find an interest, find something that you like to do. Just kind of like just expose yourself to different things. And it could be a ski club, it could be a running club, it could be people who like to hike, it could be anything. And so you sort of surround yourself around like-minded people, or people who are willing to experience new things.
And then you might find that mate.
Exactly.
In those environments.
Exactly. As opposed to
So
going to Fridays and to a club.
Hanging out in club.
Right,
Yeah.
absolutely. And what Terry, did you say?
Those.
And we have a little lag too, so don't just keep talking if we
Okay.
experience a lag. Terry, at what point did you say, okay, I like Eric and I want to pursue this?
Okay,
I know it was your choice.
No, I'm telling you, to be honest with you.
Day one. He was on
Anyway.
Day one.
To be honest with you, the relationship I was in, it was pretty much over. It was a long relationship. He cheated on me, and then that was pretty much it, and then I was ready to like call it quits.
Yeah, let it go.
After that, I was like, I need to come get my rollerblades, okay?
Yeah.
And so, Eric basically, I think we were over at his friend's. He showed up, and then once that happened to me, then I kind of opened up my lenses.
Right.
And I saw him. He was in a suit. He had on some nice shoes.
Dapper.
I was like, "Now those are some nice shoes." Okay.
It's a difference. A nice shoes and a nice timepiece and some color.
Right. And I was like, okay. I was like, kind of cute. Okay. And then, from that point on.
Well, I see you guys laugh a lot. That's important
We
too.
do. We do.
Well, she says that I play too much. I'm very playful. I laugh about everything.
We are very playful. We have fun together.
Terry can be serious at times, but for me, I try to see the humor in everything.
Right.
Yeah. And so I do. I try to see the humor in everything. And sometimes she thinks that I'll take it too far. But to me, it's kind of about, social media. I'm always joking, always kidding around. We talk on the phone. I'm kidding around, cracking jokes. That's just who I am. I try to keep it light.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to discuss with you guys the importance of the Black family structure and having two parent homes. Why is that so important to have a two? Because now we live in a society where I don't need a man. You don't need this. You hear a lot of women saying that I can do by myself.
Yeah.
What's the importance of that?
To me, it's that having that role model. More importantly, women handle things a certain way. Guys handle them differently. Terry gives, she's more supportive. I give tough love. I give it to them unfiltered, and I allow them to kind of process that, where she's more of like nurturing.
Yes, I am very nurturing. I'm very understanding.
What your father is really talking about. But the thing is that the reason why I do that is because the world is real. When you get out there in those streets, I don't care where you went to school. I don't care how smart you are. People are going to come at you. And so if you've always had someone who was always nurturing versus someone sort of being unfiltered and just giving it to you in black and white, if you get that for the first time in, say, a corporate America, you don't know how to react. And so it's kind of like, for me.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. So that's important, the role model, and then also the importance of the financial stability. You've got two parents household. You either have two people working, or you have one working and another one actually being at home to kind of nurture those kids once again. So the role models, the nurturing, the financial stability is really important.
Yeah. I'm going to also add that it's just nice to have, two, because we have opposite thoughts and a lot of things that we
Mhm.
do.
Yep.
You know, like he said, I am nurturing,
Yep.
and he may not think that, you know, I give it to him straight, but I give it to him straight. You know, I am very real when it comes to my kids,
Mhm.
you know, but also I'm just I just like to soften the blow
Yeah,
up just a little bit, you know, and kind of, you know, let them understand where he comes from, because he can be
highly
pretty,
emotional.
yeah, he can be pretty hard.
Yeah,
Well,
highly
we know where that comes from. That's a family thing. Yeah, that's a whole nother side where, or even my side, they're kind of hard. It's like this is what it is.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Black and
Mhm.
white. It's black. And
It is
two,
very
and,
much
and
black
two,
and white.
it's the environment that I grew up in. The
Yeah.
environment that I grew up in is that it was more of like,
And this is Compton. that
yeah,
you-
Compton. Yeah, you
Mhm.
actually had to see the danger a mile away. You just couldn't walk right into it. So I you know, I have the ability to kind of see, you know, in certain environments, things before they happen. And so with the kids, I just wanted to make sure that, hey, you know, you need to just not walk in there blind. You got to understand when your surroundings.
Right.
You gotta have an objective in what you want to do, be it school or sports or whatever else, and just go after it. But you
Right.
just can't walk into it blindly thinking that everyone is your friend. You know?
Especially as an African American, a Black
Oh,
American,
yeah.
you have to be very. You know, I grew up in Oak Cliff in Texas. Y'all are familiar with Texas,
Yeah.
and it was all black.
Yeah.
It was all black, everything. So when I graduated college and I went to a black college and I stepped out into the, I said, "Oh, this is how people act." I was like, you know, I was so surprised. I'm like, I always heard how people act,
Yeah.
but it was a real culture shock for me.
Yeah.
You know, one thing that I will add in regards to the Black family, both of us grew up in 2-parent households.
Mhm.
And so I think having them as examples,
Mhm.
and my dad also passed in 2018. And, you know, they were together in the same household for about a good 40 years until, you know, they kind of went their separate ways. However, they were still together, still married, still communicating, still visiting each other. So they still had that relationship. And I think that you know, seeing them as an example, you know, even though, you know, things may not have worked out quite the way, you know, but they never divorced, you know, they still were in each other's lives. And still as a family, we all still gathered as a family too.
Sort of like Will and Jada.
I was gonna say that, but I didn't want to be rude. See, there you go. There he is, Terry. We're being thrown.
Don't get him started.
That's a whole other conversation.
That's not.
Y'all ain't willing to. So, but how important is it to date people who come from the same background? So I think it's very important because I think your ideals are different. Things. What do y'all think about that? Like
I differ on it. So, you know, you've got people out there who date women because they're light or because they're dark, and certain people have preferences. For me, it's always been about personality. Yeah. You know, it's not where you're from. It's just kind of like, do you sort of click with that individual? Because there could be people that I know from from Compton or from Beverly Hills where I just don't click with them. Right. You know, so to me, it's all about personality. It's all about exactly their ambition, what type of ambition they actually have, you know, who they associate themselves with, you know, what can I learn from them? Can they teach me anything? Can they expose me to something different? To me, that's really important. So it's not so much as, you know, like-minded from a standpoint of the same community. It's just, you know, do I click with this person? Do I like how they carry themselves, how they dress, what their background is? Something else that's extremely important to me is that never date anybody that you can't get any history on. You know, you gotta
explain that.
So, you know, historically, I've never dated anybody just randomly out of the blue. Just met somebody
like at a club.
Yeah, didn't know them. I always knew something about them. Be it a lot of information, a very minimal information, at least I knew exactly what I was getting myself into.
Right.
And so I think that now
after stalking Terry for all those months, you got
it helped. It helped because I had friends. They were kind of giving me an insight. You know, she works here. She does this.
Because you don't know what you're getting at the end of the day.
Sure don't.
Especially with online dating.
And they can be crazy. They can be crazy. So to me, that's important. Yeah. You know, do you click with them?
I agree with that. You know, I agree. It's about personality,
Compatibility.
not necessarily, their upbringing,
Mhm.
because one may have had a single mom and the other, but that doesn't devalue, the person, themselves.
Yeah.
So it's about, although, I think everybody needs some therapy here and there, but that's real. I'm just, but that's real. You know, I mean, everyone has a story.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I don't think that really matters, having the same type of background. I think it's more so just trying to understand the person themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. So just to trying to, in a sense, to actually avoid the blind spots that you weren't aware of. You know, if you talk to a friend, do you know her? Yeah, she dated this dude and she dated this dude and she dated this dude. And, you don't want to mess with her. Or it could be, yeah, I've known her. She lived on the block. I know the family, comes from a good family. And that's it. That's all I need to know.
That's all you need to know. Basic things.
I don't know. She still might be crazy.
She could be crazy, but at that, or he could be, she or he could be crazy. But at least you know exactly what you're walking into.
There's a lot of crazy people out here in these streets. Just
so
that's a part of it, a part of it. Now I want to jump to dealing with trauma in relationships as relates to people having arguments. And I was telling you guys before, I had about 5 or 6 friends last year. I don't know if it was COVID. It was during COVID time that people were just getting divorced left and right. Pretty young, 38, people are just leaving. What do you say to those people up to just try to fight through? Because 26 years, I'm sure you all have had some problems.
Yeah. There's been rough patches.
Not easy.
Yeah, there's
not easy. Let's talk about that. What do you guys do to help?
There's definitely been rough patches. I would say that nobody is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I think that when you kind of experience those types of issues, you learn a lot about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, that's the important piece. It's just kind of like, when it happens, try to resolve it. If you can't, when you're dating someone, you can just say, hey, I'm just going to avoid you for 7 days or 2 weeks. But when you're married, you got to try to find a way to work it out. And I think that's where she's better than I am, because I'm stubborn.
He shuts down.
I'm stubborn. I will shut down completely and just kind of isolate myself and kind of get my thoughts right, to where Terry will actually be able to come in and make it right.
But I've also learned over the years too. I've learned not to, push, like, okay, can we talk about this? Like what's going on or this and that. I don't push, I got to the point now that, I kind of give him his time, his space, whatever. And then, one day it might be in the morning, in the evening or something like that. And then I'll come in and be like, hey, can we talk? I mean, that's where we are now. In the beginning, we might, because both of us have strong personalities.
Yeah, strong personalities. There's a lot going on.
And so, before it was like, and we both like to get our word in as, last word. I'm not gonna, he said,
what are y'all signs? What are y'all signs? So I'll know.
I'm a Sagittarius.
I'm a Cancer, but I don't believe in astrology. So
you don't.
You don't. I do.
I do
too. I do.
I'm a Gemini, so I totally get you and just
yeah.
Okay.
But my thing, more importantly, is that it's not what you say, is how you say it.
Yeah.
It's like, and you can tell me pretty much that, hey, you're a piece of shit. But if you say it in the right way, then I take it like, okay, maybe you're right. But if you come at me, if you cut me off and you come at me, I'm like, no, so I don't even hear the message. The message is blocked. It takes time to kind of get through that. But I would say that anybody that's really going through marriage and they're really considering that, just think about the long-term effect you have on not on you and your spouse, but your kids.
Right.
And so there's a part of me
that's very important. The long-term effects, because people don't think about when children see their parents arguing and fighting. This is how they operate. This is how they communicate.
Right.
So when they get older, I don't know
how they communicate.
To fight you or say something or so that's important. That long-term.
So that's one thing that I've always tried to. I think we've done a good job of that. Is not having those types of discussions in front of the kids,
right?
Because the kids know and see everything,
right?
They're absorbing everything, and you can think that it's minimal, but they're picking up on everything. And at the end of the day, it's kind of like no matter what the disagreement is about, they never take my side. So they never take my side.
So. My dad's side.
I think it's about picking battles. Pick your battles. I mean, some things it could be the most simplest of things, and you have to understand that, because now I guess I'm to the point now, if we have a disagreement, I don't shut down, but I have to say that, okay, who knows what kind of day he's having, not to take it personal.
Not to take it
No,
Yeah.
and to understand that
Have
it's
a
not
rough day.
me,
Yeah.
it may just be, him and what he's going through right now.
Yep.
So
Man has got his foot on my neck.
Yeah, I know, Eric, we talk a lot, and you talk about how you had to work a lot. You had your career. Terry, what would you say to the mothers out there who are trying to get the fathers involved, but they're just about work? What would you say to a strong Black woman who you have to raise? You have 3 kids. Eric he's always there. He's always been there. But what do you say to that woman that is working and struggling and she just can't get the help she needs? You know how the man is in the house, but he's not in the house, so to speak.
Not in the house. No, I believe that it's very important for a man to be there for his kids, because especially when they're young, those are their informative years. And so one thing, I guess I would say for them to encourage, the men to, really, I don't know.
Participate.
Participate in life.
Yeah.
Eric has always been present.
Absolutely.
He's always been there for, sporting events, all the kids' activities and things like that. Not to say that you have to go to the extent to where, you're going to every single thing, because I know that it could be hard, because, men have to take care of the family and they're working, and, but they definitely need to be present. And not only just that they're present, but that it's quality time.
Yeah.
And that quality time can be something as simple as playing a game with the kid.
I like that, because I see Eric with our son, and he takes that. So when his son comes back, it's like, man, my son is here. We're going to a game, and that just means so much.
Yeah.
All right, boy, get out of here. I'll see you later. But that means so much to sons, and I know you had a close relationship with your dad.
Yeah.
It's okay to express yourself, to show love to the kids.
Yeah.
Because I know men, don't want to seem soft or anything like that, but it's okay to say that I love you, because every person, men, women, they need that.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's a really important part.
And he's been really good.
Because, my father was blue collar, loved me, loved the family to death, gave us what we needed, but you didn't hear it all the time. That, son, I love you. You got it infrequently,
Right.
And so one thing that I've tried to do with our kids is my son does a great job about it. He will not get off the phone without telling me that he loves me.
Right.
And the same to me. But I just think that for me, it's been different. I have never really understood how men who can have a kid and not be involved in their life. I just don't understand it. I just don't understand it. And it happens too often, it happens a lot. But for me, I just made sure that first and foremost, I'm always putting them first. I'm always putting them first. They will actually have my last. So it's extremely important to me.
What I've learned too, being older, is that sometimes it's not the man, it's the woman. And they usually pit the kid against so it's men want to be a part of their children's lives, but you got
I've heard of that.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah,
it happens a lot.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you guys have 3 wonderful children, college graduates in college, making it happen. I always tell you guys, those kids they doing well. Really well.
Thanks.
I said raising kids in social media age, because now it's all about, I want to be an influencer. I'm not going to college. I'm trying to get this money.
Right.
What do you say to this? How was that raising?
It's tough. It's tough. It's tough. I would say that I think if I had made a mistake, it was actually giving these kids tablets and cell phones at such a young age, because once they get it, it's hard to
break them from that.
To take it from them. And times when I did, hey, you guys have just been on too much. Take your cell phones, give them to me. The first hour is pretty bad. Then after that, it's fine. After that, they're watching TVs with us, or talking with us, or asking, wanting to go places with us. But if I could actually do it all over again, I think that I would probably wait a little bit longer before I sort of introduced them to cell phones, because once they get those cell phones and they got internet access, they've got access to the world.
Yeah.
And so, or maybe I gave them some type of phone where you're only allowed to just accept calls and make calls. But it's hard. It's hard. One thing that I've always told the kids is that whatever happens and whatever happens, if it's placed on social media, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, it's there forever. You can't take it off.
Mhm.
The other piece that I've shared with them is that, you know, your future employers will be able to go on social media and see into your past.
Exactly.
So you just hope that you utilize it wisely. You hope they don't do anything stupid with it. But I would say just try to limit it. You know, if they have to have it, you know, if parents are working and they want to be able to contact their kids on play dates or at school, just try to ensure that they are not spending all day and all night on it, because it can become just a habit. It's a bad habit. It's a bad habit to have.
My
you know?
take on that is the influence that social media has on the kids nowadays, especially girls in this age of the Nicki Minaj's, the Cardi B's, and the Megan Thee Stallions, and all this
red lady. It's the whole issue. Yeah.
Right. And these little clothes and things like that. And, you know, because they see these things, they think it's the norm and that it's cute and that's the way that you're supposed to dress. So with my girls, it's a constant. It's just constant, like, that's not appropriate. Like, where's the rest of the clothes? Like, you know, you want to present yourself in a, you know, decent manner, you know, and what that is, you know, you don't have to show your breasts and, you know, and your butt cheeks and, you know, twerk, and, you know, you need to carry yourself, and, you know, impressions are very important. Just like Eric said, you know, if you're posting these things on social media, your employer or, you know, prospective employer, you know, might do a little research and
they will pull it up. Yeah, it happens. Yeah, it's important. It's important. I think that, I mean, Terry hits the point. I think that, you know, and I'm saying, you know, but I think that perception becomes reality for some. And so to me, it's just amazing that the worst of the worst will receive a platform every year. We get a new Little Kim every year. And it's only getting worse. It's only getting worse. And it's just, you just really actually have to watch what your kids are listening to, what they're watching, and you have to be able to provide balance.
Right. Well, I see myself as being the best role model that they could possibly have, you know, because they saw me, you know, diving in when we moved to Texas. You know, I changed careers altogether. I went into teaching. And so, you know, they saw me studying for my exams. And when I study, you know, I pretty much locked down. And so, you know, being and so being that example for them. Absolutely. Right? So if you see me doing it, then, you know, my hope is that they would have the drive to do the same and achieve, you know, beyond what they even think they can.
So I think it goes back to having those role models at home, because you could actually have your role model. Say if a kid is living with his dad, and his dad is sort of presenting himself a certain way. If he doesn't really have a lot of exposure to women, and he's seeing all these women on social media doing certain things, he may think that that's the norm. So having that balance is really important. It's really important.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to jump into what's the importance of faith for you guys in your marriage, in your life. What's the importance of faith in God?
So for me, you know, I'm a very spiritual person. Now, I can't say, you know, I pray every single night, but I do have my time in which, you know, I want everything to go well for everyone. Let me just say that, you know, we don't really go to church every, you know, Sunday, but I will put on, you know, my old pastor's, you know, sermons. That was in Arizona. I would put on his, you know, sermons and listen to him. But I think you definitely have to have faith in knowing, because I'm a very positive person. So let me just start there. So I stay positive. I'm a half full type of person. And so I think that speaks volume. And whatever your source, whatever it may be, whether it's God, whether it's, you know, whatever religion, you know, I just think it's important just to understand and to stay positive. That's pretty much as far as I can go, you know.
And that makes a huge difference. Positivity changes everything.
Yeah. Giving gratitude, being thankful for everything and what we have, and just looking at life and in a positive way. That's all I can say in regards to,
Yeah, I was so probably the first 13, 14 years of my life, church every Sunday, small church in the city, probably less than 60 people. From a faith perspective, I just try to live right. I just try to do what's right. That's it. I read the Bible, not often.
Treat people as you want to be treated.
Yeah, I just try to live right. I just try to be righteous.
I believe in karma.
I really try to be righteous. There's a part though, and this is one of the debates we actually had in regards to churches, is that we lived in Scottsdale, Arizona for 15 years. And Scottsdale's really not that diverse. And I just, for whatever reason, I had to go across town to attend an all-black church. I just felt comfortable. I felt at home.
I go to Phoenix. So you had to drive over to Phoenix. Is that where you had to go?
Yeah, exactly. And so sometimes Terry would take the kids to a local church, and I just didn't feel comfortable in there. And so I went the first time. I think it was probably like a New Year's Eve service or something. And I walked in, and I just didn't feel comfortable. I really didn't feel comfortable, and I never went back. So sometimes they would go to the community church, the local church.
I didn't care too much for that church as well. However, I did find another church in which it was a more diverse congregation. And so that one really spoke to my soul, So I go where I feel like I'm being fed, by the word.
And so my preference would really be by my people, see them on a Sunday, and then hear that message the way that preacher gave it.
Right.
So it's just.
But you all make really good points. It's really important about being positive, keeping the love, and karma is real. You reap what you sow. So whatever you put out, you'll be back.
What you put out in the universe, it comes back to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but I would say Terry's done a great job in getting the kids to understand religion, respect it, live right, attend Sunday services. I think that when COVID occurred and it sort of kept you out of churches. We really hadn't gotten to the point where we're starting to really go back frequently. I think that'll probably change probably in the coming weeks or months. But it's nice to be inside that place amongst your people, and you just when you're in that environment, you feel something. And I just love hearing that message. I really do.
When you all have God in you, because I know y'all, so it's y'all have the spirit, and it's definitely there. You can see it in your kids.
Yeah. So
that's a good thing. So any final thoughts? I'm gonna step off the screen, and I want you guys to give the audience your final thoughts. Okay.
Final thoughts.
Okay. So I would say that for anyone who is in a relationship and who are planning to get married, take the time to really, get to know your partner and know that it is it's a journey. And even with us, we've been together for 28 years and we're still learning about each other, and just know that take the time to be okay with building your relationship and become friends, because we are friends. We have fun together, and what else?
So I would say first and foremost, thanks for allowing us to come on your show. I really appreciate it. I really do. It's been a long time coming. I'm glad we've kind of set a date and we're able to kind of get on and really speak with you and we'll speak with you together. I would think most importantly for young men is to understand that it's not about being the cool guy. It's not about being the athlete. It's all about becoming educated, taking school seriously. Anyone that actually has kids out there, I would tell them that the chances of their kids making any money from sports is slim to none. So with that being said, participate, have fun with it, but use it as an opportunity to either get a free education or to just, leave it alone and just focus in on your books. Secondly, in regards to relationships, Don't date a person because of what they have or what you can get from them or how they look or, if their parents have money. Date that person because you like them. Date that person because that person actually has ambition. Date that person because you like spending time around them. And I think that if you can do all of that, everything will actually fix itself in the end.
Absolutely. Well, thank you all for coming on. This was a great show. They might be calling y'all soon on BET, the Black Love. Hold tight for me in the green room. Thank you so much for coming on. All right, hold tight.
All right, thank you.
All right.
I want to say thank you to Eric and Terry Cole for coming live on air with Phil and Friends. You're listening to Phil and Friends. I'll be back here live, same time, same place, every Sunday, right here on WHCR 90.3 FM, the voice of Harlem. I'll see y'all later. Peace.